the Best of Foodie committee almost broke Miranda.
It was intense this year. It was definitely intense.
Now, does it go smoothly, or does it ever get heated? Does it?
It gets very heated. It gets very heated. Everybody on the committee is under NDA, so they feel that they can talk.
I noticed FYE is a booth this year.
They are.
Is that just an attempt to kind of relate more to the comic side, or is there...
They're going to make a big play in the designer toy world.
Oh.
They've changed gears.
Hey, Toy Family! Welcome to another edition of the Marsham Toy Hour, where we discuss anything and everything designer toys. I'm Gary Ham.
And I'm Theresa Hawkins.
And Theresa had no choice tonight. He decided it was more important to go see Deadpool 2 than join us.
I know. But that's okay. I know you were saying he actually helped with the costume for it, right?
Yes, so I think that's a valid excuse. And George, I hope you enjoyed the movie.
It's all good. That's pretty exciting, though. Have fun, George. I'm sure you're having a date with Jess, doing lovey-dovey things.
So, even though we're one man down, we've gained 3, and they're coming to us from 5 Points Festival. They are Josh and Miranda Kimberg and Sarah Booz. Welcome.
Woo!
Okay. They might have been drinking a little bit before they came on this podcast.
Thank you to Lagunitas for providing.
This side of the podcast is brought to you by Lagunitas.
Yes.
Okay. So we're having you guys on. 5 Points is what, in 2 weeks from?
No, much farther away
it's
than
on
that.
June 2nd and 3rd, which is like happening some indiscriminate time away in the future.
So it's coming up. It's coming up fast, and we want to know
Shut
everything.
your mouth!
This is gonna be an interesting night. So we want to know everything there is to know about 5 Points Fest. I mean, you guys may not be ready, but I think us as attendees, we're excited for this thing to get rolling. I can't, Josh. Okay, so I'll talk about something real quick, and then we'll get back to talking about 5 Points. So last week, Super Plastic, that was the start of their Kickstarter campaign for their Janky toys, and it's doing amazingly well. And and I think they received their funding, their full funding within the first few hours. They were asking for $25,000, and now they're sitting at about $300,000 the last time I checked. So they're doing extremely well. I'm very excited for them. So congratulations to Paul Budnitz and Huck Gee. You guys are running an amazing campaign. I think it's rejuvenated the toy scene a little bit. It's been very exciting. It's been a lot of fun watching their excitement and their engagement with the community. I've seen Paul Budnitz dancing around and stuff, so it's been very fun. I think it's been very, very refreshing to see, and this campaign is going to be a lot of fun for the next several weeks because it ends on, I think, June 15th. So they got a lot more fun and challenges ahead. And I also want to point out that I think it's really cool that this is going beyond the designer toy scene. They're bridging the gap between us and other collectors out there, and I think that's great that they're bringing more eyes to our little world.
Yes.
I'm just looking forward to making out with Huck.
I don't know how to.
Josh, TMI.
Well, and Huck and Paul are going to be at 5 Points Fest as well, which is super exciting.
So, we're really excited to announce tonight that Paul and Huck will be speaking at 5 Points.
Yes, they'll be doing a talk
about Super Plastic and Janky and the future of designer toys.
Cool. So is it one of the panels?
It's the premier panel.
So is it VIP only, or anyone can go listen?
Anyone can go, but VIPs will get preferential treatment. So it'll be VIPs first, and then space after that will be taken up from anybody.
High five, Theresa.
Cool.
We got VIP passes.
Yeah. VIP, baby. Woo.
Yeah.
We got to use that thing. Get our money's worth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing that is exciting, too, about the way we're structuring our panels is that there's a bar in the panel room.
There is a bar in the panel room.
Is this an open bar? Freebie drinks?
No. Well, in the VIP bar, which is in the panel room, there are specialty cocktails that are going to be exclusive to that room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they toy themed?
They are.
Wow.
The first one is it's a Moscow Mule, but it's the 5 Points toy mule because,
Oh, nice.
I like it.
People want those mollies.
People want those mollies. They're getting mules everywhere.
Yes, they are. I'm dying.
Cool.
That's a segue from
Yeah,
Yankee. So
Sorry.
we're super excited for Hook and Pull. It's awesome. It's totally filling a bit of a vacuum, I think, in the designer toy world right now. So it's so exciting to see.
And we will have the 4-foot janky on display at the festival, and there will be a challenge level for the Kickstarter that can only be unlocked at the festival.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm.
Now, is this the one that's going to, the 4-foot janky that's going to be at 5 Points Fest? Is that the one that they're going to be giving away during the panel?
Yes, but it's not like you're going to take it away from the festival.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
it'll ship out later, but yes.
Okay.
So the one in the picture was like kind of gray and all that. Is it going to be painted white?
It is.
It's going to be glossy white.
It's going to be shiny.
Ooh.
Coming to 5 Points, it's going to be a killer good time. It's going to be a blast.
We'll be drunk.
Josh, I can tell. Yeah,
And there's gonna
Josh.
be
Okay,
amazing-
so the panel that you guys are talking about is going to be the premiere panel at the convention. Huck and Paul are going to be hosting it. What more can you guys tell us about it? You mentioned it's going to be about super plastic and designer toys. Are they going to be talking about the return designer toys and all that sort of good stuff?
I'm talking about it all.
I believe Paul has 5 secrets that he will reveal.
Whoa.
Are you messing with me, or is this real?
A wizard.
5 secrets about toys and life.
I'm excited.
Business ownership, he's good at that.
Like a wizard.
Definitely
Yeah,
good
like
at
Like
that.
a wizard. He's
Like
gonna
a
reveal.
wizard.
He's gonna reveal things like a wizard.
And Huck's just going to hang out and be tall.
Okay. So tell us more about 5 Points Fest. What's going on? Do you guys want to start from the beginning and go from the Designer Toy Awards right into the event?
Yes,
Okay.
let's do that. So the Designer Toy Awards are happening on Friday night at the Brooklyn Bazaar, which is just around the corner from the venue. So we've kept everything super close this year, which is really great
Oh, that's nice.
for everybody. Let's face it.
It's all in walking distance,
it's
including
all-
the
I
after
think-
party.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think that's the first time I've heard the DTA venue.
Yes, it is probably. I don't think we've
The
put it.
Brooklyn Bazaar?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so since this is the first time we're hearing about it, why don't you guys tell us more about the venue? What can we expect? Is it going to be indoor, outdoor, or strictly indoor? Or tell us about the venue.
This is an indoor venue. It's super cool.
Oh, so yeah, I can tell you all about the
Yes,
venue. So the
please.
Brooklyn Bazaar is the old Polonaise Polish wedding hall.
Yep.
That was converted into a club
/ music venue.
music venue. Yeah, it's not really a club. It's like a music venue. It's like a 3-tiered music
Wonderland.
venue. Just it's such an amazing venue with so much character and history. And there's like it has great ambiance, and there's a restaurant in the venue as well.
Yeah.
Which has pinball and a bunch of other like video games and stuff. So I know a lot
cool.
of people last year were talking about how it was very clubby at Webster Hall, and this has a very different vibe. Like there'll be an area where people can hang out and talk, and everyone can really catch up, which will be nice. And it's one of the best parts about the Designer Toy Awards.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you said there's a restaurant, so people will be able to get food if they want?
Yes. It's not
Oh,
like
cool.
a sit down restaurant. It's like
There's
it's,
booths.
yeah, it's
It's
great.
it's a super
perfect.
burrito.
It's perfect.
It's delicious Mexican food, and it's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm really excited. It's such a good venue.
Now, who's going to be hosting the awards this year? Who's the host?
We're ready for release information. Should we give them a scoop?
We can give them the scoop, the official scoop.
Yeah.
So the awards are going to be hosted by a comedian named Eli Uden.
Okay.
He's from the Midwest. He lives in Brooklyn now. He hosts a bunch of comedy shows around Brooklyn. He's very popular.
He's a large
Jewish man.
Viking.
Yeah. He's tall and handsome and funny.
And he's into toys.
He's one of us. It's good.
Yeah.
He's funny and he's one of us. We're very excited.
Cool.
Is he just presenting, or is he going to do a little monologue where he's going to roast some of the
he's gonna
people?
yes,
He's gonna do some bits.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. Now, the only way you can get into the Designer Toy Awards is to have the VIP pass. Are there still VIP passes available?
There are many, that's for sure.
Okay.
Handful.
Want to tell our listeners maybe a little bit about it and how to purchase it and what's all comes with it?
Yeah, totally. So the VIP pass is super awesome this year, and we're really excited because you get an exclusive mini erosion molly from Instinct Toy, and it's gold and sparkly and super special. And you have to attend the event to get your VIP pass. So it's going to be rare. There's only 300 total VIPs. It's the only way to get into the Design and Toy Awards on Friday as a collector or a fan.
Okay.
You know, if you're a nominee or part of the industry, that's different. But if you're just a collector, then that's the only way to get in. You get into 5 points an hour earlier than anybody else. You get ticket to the Saturday night party.
Can I say one thing about being able to get in early?
Yes.
So there are a lot of exclusives that are only going to be able to be purchased by VIPs because they're in such limited numbers that they will be gone. If you are not a VIP, you will not get these exclusives.
Lace up your running shoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also Instinct Toy are keeping 30 lottery tickets as an back for VIPs, so you have to be a VIP as 30 of VIPs.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know about that. That's an advantage I hadn't heard about with the VIP pass. So now that we know who's hosting the event, what the venue is for the event, is there anything else you want to tell us about the Designer Toy Awards?
I'm really excited about this year's awards. I don't think when we started, we couldn't have imagined being 8 years in.
Yeah.
I remember thinking like, wow, if we make it to 5 years, that'll be pretty special.
And now we're like 10 years.
And
Whoa.
it's like we're 8
Staring
years.
down the barrel of 10.
Staring down the barrel of 10. I think that this year there was so many amazing artists and creativity were involved. I think that the representation was fantastic.
This year we added way more people to the committees. So we had much bigger groupings of people discussing the nominations to finalists. And it took a really long time this year. And every aspect was totally fully discussed and turned upside down. And
can we just even go into discussing like that one committee that was
one?
Like up, down, and around?
The Best of Foodie committee is now Best of
Miranda
Final.
almost that committee, the Best of Foodie committee, almost broke Miranda.
It was intense this year. It was definitely intense because it's difficult now with so much stuff final being made in China. It's difficult to discern, well, what's Safubi, what's roller casted, what's slush casted, what's this, what's that. So there was a lot of discussion about how to judge that category. And
actually, out of that conversation, we actually finally cracked that conversation in a way that we'll have a big announcement about
next
year's DTAs, so that entire category gets reformulated.
Yeah.
In a way that I personally, as someone who loves Safubi, the change that we're going to make next year, I think, is phenomenal, and so happy about it. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who I think get recognized and celebrated who have just kind of been overlooked just because of the structure of that category.
I mean, this year we added Best Production Sculpt too, just to try and recognize some of the sculptors out there that wouldn't necessarily get their names on an award.
Like
so that's
George.
Interesting. Like George, yeah. So that's interesting. And I think that's going to grow over the years too.
I want to know a little more about this committee that goes over the nominations and finally decides who's going to be like the top 9 or 12 finalists for the Designer Toy Awards. So how many people are on the committee, and then are there different people? Are there different people for different groups, or does everyone get a say on every category?
So historically, we've run it that most of the committees were different, but what you end up with is too much crossover and not enough discussion over the overarching the categories. So this year we did it slightly differently and had much bigger committees for every category, which made the discussions much longer and much more in depth, which was a great turnout, I thought, in the end. We have I think there's about 30 or 35 people in total across the committees. And then it's broken down depending on like who's in the committees and where there could be any kind of conflict of interest. So, if we have artists on the panels, they're excluded from any of the categories that they could influence or be nominated in. So if you're nominated in a category, you're definitely already taken out of that category. But if you have a bias, you're also taken out. So there's a lot of going into them, making sure that the bias is removed as much as possible. You're always going to have some bias, but we try and load it so that it balances out.
Okay, that's interesting. So how do you discern the bias then? Is it you kind of recognize who's pals with people, like who's worked with what companies and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, we look at like who they're working for, what they've made, where they fit in the design toy world, what they collect. We have collectors on the on the categories too. So we also this year we merged public and pro together, which I thought was super interesting because it's always difficult to get collectors to talk about the nominations in a way that they feel comfortable, or to even like really get involved and in depth in like, well, what does this mean? What does this category mean? And what can we add to it? So it was really good to see the way that the pros and the collectors interacted with each other and the difference that they brought to the discussion. That was really great this year, I have to say.
Now, does it go smoothly, or does it ever get heated? Does it?
Oh, it gets very heated. It gets very heated. You know, everybody on the committee is under NDA, so they feel that they can talk without any repercussions, which is super important. And you know, people are allowed to say whatever they think in those committees, and you know, try and discuss the categories and just discuss the merits of the pieces of every piece or every artist that's involved in it, and really try and crack it down because it's very difficult to reduce hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of nominations down and down and down. And so it's a voting system that we discuss the categories, we discuss the merits, we take out any that aren't like supposed to be in the categories, put them in the right categories. If they're in the wrong year, remove them. And then they discuss every one, and then we vote on them. And then the votes are also weighted based on how many people voted for it too, to try and make it as fair as possible.
Okay.
So Miranda, how does a collector get on the committee?
Well, we usually contact people.
Oh, okay.
But we're also open to people that say like, hey, I've been collecting for this long and I have a strong opinion and I'd really like to get involved. We're always open to adding more people. The more people that we can have that have an interest and a experience in it, the better, because, the more discussion we can have, the better the pool of finalists will be.
Cool. I was just curious. Another thing I'm curious. No, not that I'm volunteering.
You were just asking for a friend.
Curiosity is all. But another thing I'm curious about. We were actually, Gary and I are data junkies, and so we're always talking about data-related stuff. And I was just curious. When you're doing the fan votes, are you analyzing like how many votes come in and how global or worldwide they are? Like, is that something that you all are tracking at all?
We don't analyze it. We do have all that data if we wanted to, but we don't tend to track it. The only time we really look at it is if one vote seems to be abnormally high. Then we'll dig a little deeper and try and figure out, what's going on with that. But on the whole, we just keep an eye to make sure that everything seems, above board.
Has anybody ever bought a click farm and they got like 50,000 more votes than somebody else?
We've had that happen in the past, for sure.
No, are you serious? I was joking.
Yeah, no, we've had that happen in the past. We just behind the scenes disqualify those votes.
That's crazy that someone would do that.
What's also interesting about the nomination committees is that everyone's in different time zones. So the conversations always happen at strange times. Like we run these big group chats, and the kind of rules are like you have 24 hours to catch up. And after 24 hours, if you don't get involved in the conversation, then the vote will happen whether or not you discussed it. And if you discuss it, then the vote it keeps being discussed until everyone's finished talking about it. So you can have people that are like up at 3:00 in the morning chatting to us all, who is like 9:00 over here. So it's really interesting from that perspective.
Okay.
Can I do also, let me just add that all of the people that take part in the nomination committee, I really want to thank them because they do dedicate a lot of time to it. It's not like this, like, oh, I'll just add my votes in. It's really time consuming. And it was a good solid 3 weeks this time of every day in-depth discussions about every category.
That's crazy. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Can I say one last thing about the Designer Toy Awards?
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah, this is the last thing. I don't want to talk about this anymore. For the record, I also just want to reiterate that Clutter only participates in choosing the Lifetime Achievement Award and the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And otherwise, we are just the stewards of the process.
Yeah, it's true. And
understood.
The committee will tell you the same thing.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. So, in addition to being just stewards of the information, I've also noticed that you have to omit yourselves from being anything that you've had your hand in or helped produce can't be a finalist as well, right? So, like, let's say someone nominated the DTA Dunny series. Like, the panel probably decides that cannot make it as a finalist because you guys had your hand in it, right?
Yes, it was in there, and there was a lengthy discussion about whether that should be allowed or not allowed. because not only did it have a hand in it, it had the Designer Toy Awards name on it.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, it was a really great series, and all the artists designed the dummies. Like, we didn't do that. So, that was a difficult one to take out, but the integrity of it was that we needed to take it out.
All those people are already winners.
They are.
No, it makes sense.
No, it's just, I get it, but also at the same time, it's just kind of not fair because you all make great stuff or involved in great stuff, and it should be included.
Yeah, but so here's a good one. Like the Octo Dunny, that was nominated, but we took it out of the even conversation because it just looks suspicious. If we were to win an award for that as best resin, it would just look so suspicious.
Can you imagine the outcry, Theresa?
Yeah, exactly. It's just not worth. It's really not worth to be involved. Like, we feel honored to participate in the Design Toy Awards and to be giving those awards to artists, and we don't want to have that. We already have that enough with people think that we like just give them out to our friends or whatever. Like it's hard enough.
Do you watch Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I get it. It's just unfortunate.
Do you guys watch Grey's Anatomy?
Nobody watches Grey's Anatomy apart from me.
Oh, fuck.
I've not watched in a very long time. Isn't it?
There's a storyline about this, but hey, whatever.
There is.
There is.
True. If you watch Grey's Anatomy, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Just call me. If you're watching Grey's Anatomy, call me.
I have one more data question, Gary.
Okay.
I know you don't analyze it, but do you know? Like, are you willing to disclose roughly how many fan votes there are overall?
I have no idea off the top of my head. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So like tens of thousands
total votes, or votes per category?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Just overall, like how many people tend to come in and vote? I'm just curious how broad it is. Like if it's like 1,000 or like 10,000 or.
I don't even know off the top of my head.
Who's the poor sucker that has to tally all these up?
Yeah, well, it does it automatically. We just.
Look at the results. The first year, I remember. Like, I don't think we've looked since. Like, we haven't looked at totals since we were trying to impress people in the first couple of years, and it was in the tens of thousands in terms of total voting. But I don't think we haven't put together a media packet in so long.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Now we just look at it. We have a fancy report system now that just pulls out a report and it tells us like the winners in order, and if anything's suspicious, it doesn't really tell us anything. If somebody has like 30,000 votes and somebody else has 500 votes, we're like, well, that's a suspicious thing happening. Yeah, sure. But that would be an interesting thing for us to look into more, Theresa, for sure.
I'm just curious. I also wonder too, like Gary and I were talking about how Playhouse came in and took Best Store, and it felt like it came out of nowhere. So it seemed like there's a lot of folks over from Asia or what have you participating in this. So it seems more worldwide potentially than I may have originally figured. So I don't know. I'm just curious to know.
And we're trying really hard to promote it to be more worldwide too, because Best Toy Store is a good example of like how we're trying to get nominations from outside of the US, because it's difficult. Yeah. And it's difficult when people are voting mainly in the US because it's an English language site. So, there are definitely things that we need to do to encourage that.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I definitely want it to be more broad over and include everyone. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're always looking for suggestions, and we're open to, making it the best we can always. So we always listen to feedback.
That's cool.
So the other thing that's super exciting about the Designer Toy Awards is that Kid Robot is sponsoring the Breakthrough Artist category for the seventh year. Seventh year?
Yeah.
And we're doing a really awesome thing at the Brooklyn Bazaar venue where we're having the 20-inch dunny that represents our partnership with Kid Robot that all the Breakthrough Artists who have won have signed. And whoever wins the Breakthrough Artist Award this year will be, signing the 20-inch dunny, but it's going to be on display the whole time at the award ceremony. And we're super excited about that. And we're really, really grateful to Kid Robot and everything they provided for us over the years. And also, the fourth DTA Dunny show is happening at 5 Points this year. And there's a gallery booth dedicated to the DTA Dunny show this year. So again, I just want to thank Kid Robot and everything that they provide for the Breakthrough Artist and for the DTA Dunny show, because there's it's really incredible. They give us so many toys for people to customize. It's wonderful.
And this year is awesome because previously it had been pretty much only 8-inch and 20-inch.
Mm-hmm.
And this year there's 8-inch, 5-inch, 20-inch. There's a whole bunch of different sizes that people are working on. So really cool things are coming back.
Yeah.
Nice. I should point out that we also talked about the DTA Dunny show a few weeks back, and we also mentioned it was primarily 20-inch and 8-inch Dunnies used in the previous events, and I think we might have said none. And we definitely heard from the Dunny collectors that we were wrong on that. They said that 5 inches were introduced at the New York Comic-Con one.
Yeah, New York Comic Con was the first time the 5-inch one had actually been seen.
Okay.
It was the first time it had been customized. It was the first time anything had happened with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the kind of launch of the 5-inch platform. So it is not new that we're adding the 5 inches, but historically it's mainly been the 20 inches and the 8 inches.
Now, historically, the past couple of years, the winner of the breakthrough category also then went on to be included into a Dunny series or get an individual Dunny. Is that the case for the winner this year?
That is the case this year too, yes.
Cool.
And we will have an exclusive colorway of the Horrible Adorables Dunny for 5 points.
Which was the breakthrough artist from last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Whoa.
What? We just.
This is leaks and sneaks peeks now.
This is leaks and sneak. This
It
is
is.
quick leaks and sneak peeks.
Well, let's do that then. So why don't you guys tell us what some of your exclusives are, or what some exclusives come into the event are?
Exclusives? Oh my god! So
I'm not telling you.
we have a Restore exclusive. So we'll be having the first US release of the 4 figures that were just premiered at TTE.
Woo.
We have a Mr. Self-Indulgent colorway from Marsham Toys and Noir, which is super exciting.
It's the berry pink.
The berry pink.
Don't call it pink berry.
Don't call it pink berry. We'll get.
It's very
arrested.
cool.
So we're excited to have that there. We are going to have the Horrible Adorables Dunny colorway.
Wow.
We're going to have a Kakaki Toys exclusive.
Oh, so excited about that. I want one.
That's going to be so cool.
Teresa, do you know Kakaki Toys?
I do not know. Should I know?
Google.
How do I spell? How do I spell?
K-I-K-A-K-E.
K-I-K-A-K-E.
K-I-K-A-K-E. Kakaki.
K-I-K-K-A-K-E. K-I-K-K-A-K-E. It's the monkey people.
Yes, they did make monkeys. Now they're making balloon sex doll. Blow up doll.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That thing turned out amazing. I mean, I haven't seen it in hand, but I've seen the photos, and I can't believe that's actually just a soft vinyl toy or some Fubi toy, because it really does. It really resembles like a blow-up doll.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's mind-blowing.
And when you see them in the flesh, they're just amazing.
We were in the gallery the other day, and Kyle stopped and looked at it. He goes, "It's amazing how much that looks like a Mylar balloon. Like, just unreal."
You have to pick it up and go like, "Wow, this is actually hard." Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. What else do we have? Go.
There's a premiere of an unbelievable new toy by American Gross.
God,
that weirdo fucking American Gross. He can go S to D.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy's a dick.
We've been working closely with DC Collectibles.
It's so late at night.
This is so awesome, actually.
Yeah. I'll send you some pictures of this one. We've been working really closely with our friends at DC to make our own licensed double cast Batman. So we're super excited about that one. I don't know. I actually previewed it on our live feed on Saturday night from the gallery show, which a few people picked up. So we'll send you pictures of that because that's super exciting.
Sweet.
If you like Batman, it's awesome. It's so awesome.
If you want to ask that guy American Gross about it, we can,
Okay.
Yeah, we can get you on the bat phone.
Well, we have American Gross on the line, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just fucking around. But thank you, DC Collectibles. It's incredible, the opportunity to make a Batman.
That's awesome. Congrats on that, Josh.
Yeah.
So should we talk about any other exclusives coming to the event that we know of? Like anything that's non-clutter related?
Comet Debris is bringing several amazing exclusives, of which there will only be 5 a day.
Wow.
So the VIPs are taking those home.
The one, Teresa, you would be really into this one. It's called Tofu Kid. He's a little clear red Safubi piece with his tongue sticking out. The tongue is purple. And he's got a little green hat on. It's adorable.
So
he's a Cyclops.
cool.
It's like so cool and so cute.
Sarah, trust me, I know. Oh, I swear.
Yeah, I saw this and I was like, gotta talk about this one because Theresa's gonna love it.
I know. I'm like anxiously like foaming at the mouth, waiting for posts to finally come out, and I'm slowly starting to see people release posts on Instagram of the things they're bringing. But it's like, I want more because I've got to do. Y'all know I've talked about it. I do this whole spreadsheet thing. I rack and stack and figure it all out.
Wow.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a flood at the last minute of just like awesome stuff that's coming.
Yeah, it's what always happens. So I can't wait.
Yeah, we're excited for all of our Japanese vendors that are coming back, and all of the vendors that are traveling from. What?
I interrupted you. You were talking about the VIP pass. I just wanted to make that point.
Oh,
but for people who are listening to the podcast, you might want to go back to the topic. Just trying to help moderate.
Yeah, you get a fancy bag. What else do you get with VIPs?
Goodie bag. So there's going to be an extra bag in term with the erosion Molly. You'll get sort of swag. Lagunitas is throwing some stuff in. Yeah. There's it's going to be cool.
Oh, that segues us to beer.
It does.
Yes.
So,
but wait,
going on 5 points. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
So
this little swag bag.
Yes, there's really amazing beer stuff in that swag bag too.
Is there a black and white cookie?
Oh, that was last year. I don't know whether you're cookies this year. We better get on that.
No, black and white
cookies in New York.
As a native New Yorker, black and white cookies are not good. They're gross.
So can I say the one thing that I'm super excited about that's in the VIP bag is the limited edition 5 points beer glass.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
Everyone gets every VIP attendee gets a beer glass shaped like a can with art by CZ on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
That's cool.
I like it. That sounds like a good goodie bag.
We're excited about the goodie bags. We think they're going to be really good. The erosion Molly knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, that was nice. That's a beautiful piece.
People from all over the world are like, hey, can I buy 25 VIP tickets and then you'll mail me the toy? We're like, no, we can't do that.
Like, if I come and my friend can't come, but I bought a ticket for my friend, can I still pick
it up?
Yeah. No. Everyone has to have an ID. Like, you need to be there in person to get this toy.
So what happens if someone doesn't show up and claim their VIP pass?
We send Gary, the extra mini erosion Molly.
Awesome. Can you get me the email list of all those 25 people that contacted you? Okay, so now we're on Saturday, 5 Points Fest. So the pass gets you in an hour early. What else can we expect at the venue? I know I saw Super Plastic is involved somehow, but they don't have a booth. Is their involvement only the panel?
The 4-foot janky will be on display. They will be on the panel, and they will be wandering around.
And they'll be encouraging people to unlock the challenge.
So how are we going to find out? Okay, so how am I going to know what that is?
It will be revealed.
Can I just say the one reason I and probably maybe Theresa and a lot of other people thought that May 15th we actually going to be able to click and actually purchase Super Plastic toys is because we saw Janky on the 5 Points poster.
Oh.
Spill the beans. There's something out there.
Yeah, why is it on the poster? It's not an actual physical toy yet.
And the one on the poster has sleeves.
That's right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Would you look at that?
We're looking at a poster when we say this.
I feel like we're out of the loop on this one, Gary.
If you want to know what the original Janky image looked like, look at the poster.
You had little sleeves.
Because we had the poster created before.
Interesting.
The design was finalized.
Well, that's a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. So last year, I know there were a lot of signings and stuff. So is there a plan for certain signings at certain booths at certain times this year again?
There are. A lot of that information is still coming in. We have Kaori signing at our booth and releasing some awesome Morrises.
If you follow the 5 Points Fest hashtag, there's a lot of vendors who are revealing their signing schedules as we get closer to the date.
Okay.
So personally, Clutter can tell you the signings they're doing at that booth, and other than that, it's coming in. We know that there's a ton of people coming in from Japan, and a bunch of signings going on, specifically in like the Safubi area.
Yes.
There'll be lots of stuff happening there, which again leads back to the VIP tickets, because you'll need one to check any of that out, because otherwise they'll all be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now
No, sorry, Gary, but so are a lot of the signings going to be on a booth by booth basis, or are you going to have a list collectively you've compiled that I could find on like the 5 Points website?
There will be on a booth by booth basis, but we're going to put as much of that information together as we can beforehand.
It also depends on the vendors getting that information to us.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Now, one thing that I've noticed that's a little bit different from last year is I was looking through the vendor list, and it seemed like this year there's not as much of a comic presence as there was last year.
Yeah.
Is that something that's changing going forward for the event?
There definitely was a little bit more of a comic present last year than there is this year. We had to scale the comics back a little bit due to the venue that we're in this time.
Okay.
So we'll probably add more comics back in again next year, but we definitely had to change that up a little bit this year.
Okay.
You know, I noticed FYE is a booth this year.
They are.
Is that just an attempt to kind of relate more to the comic side, or is there...
They're going to make a big play in the designer toy world.
Oh.
They've changed gears.
Yeah, we're excited for that, because there aren't many big
Retailers.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say realtors. I'm so tired. There aren't any big realtors selling houses anymore. No, big, selling. Virgin went, Borders went, all of those big guys that used to sell stuff.
Yeah, no, FYE is not rebranding, but repositioning themselves as a player in the designer toy world.
With original toys, or are they going to be picking up like exclusive colorways of other people's stuff, or are they doing original toys?
I don't know the full extent of their strategy, but they are picking up lots and lots of colorways and exclusives.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Now I'm curious. So I don't know much about FYE, but from what I've heard about it, sounds like they mainly sell like comic related stuff, pop culture toys, and didn't have a designer toy presence. So what will they have at their booth at 5 Points Fest? Will it just be what their stores carry, or will it be narrowed down to what they do designer toy wise?
We could reveal the thing we're doing.
That's not with FYE, is it?
Yeah.
Which thing?
The whole thing.
But are they doing that at 5
We're
Points?
giving them 20 pieces of pink glitter.
Pay no attention to the whispering.
It's telling me stuff that I don't even know. So I wouldn't announce that.
We can hold it off. I'm intrigued. We'll just leave it that way. I'm very intrigued now. I feel like originally I was like, oh, FYE, okay, that's like comic stuff. But now I'm like, oh, I need to go see what's up. I'm intrigued.
I mean, they haven't announced, so I'm not going to.
Okay, so look forward to future designer toy news from FYE. It sounds like they're going to be a new player in the game, people. So this is exciting.
They're in the process of pivoting
That's
right now.
It's amazing that we're breaking that news right here.
On Marsham Toy Hour.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Okay. Will there be an ATM on site?
There will.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
It's marked on the floor plan as well.
It's in the foyer.
Okay.
It's right near registration.
Can I talk about season?
So you were talking about the size of the venue, or the comic area, Gary. But do you feel like overall, compared to last year, is it bigger in size, the amount of booths, or is it about the same?
So it has more outdoor space this year than last year. The comic toy switch was not about the size of the venue. It was just about the rules and regulation of the venue for this year. But the venue is really pretty. It's all glass. It's really airy. It's bright. I think people are going to really dig this venue.
It's a gorgeous venue.
It's beautiful.
Last
year's venue was awesome too, but this one's, it could be even prettier.
It's so beautiful.
So are you all, I know last time we talked, we were talking a lot about the headaches and struggles of the venue you had. Do you feel like it's gone a lot better this year with this new venue?
Yeah, I mean, we're not in Manhattan, so it's different rules. Like, as soon as you step off the island, you get it just frees a lot of things up. Like
It's a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, there's no union in Brooklyn, for instance. Like there's just a lot of things when you're in New York City that you can't do. So that's definitely much easier and much more helpful.
It's also the ability to have everything within walking distance. Like last year, you had the venue for the event, like way on the East River, and then in the East, like, 2 miles away from that was the venue for the DTAs, and then way in Midtown was the venue for the after party. And this year, you can walk to everything, and it's awesome.
Oh, that's good.
That'll be great.
Our after party.
I want to get to the after party, but I'm curious. So, of all the booths, like FYE is a new one to me. Are there any others that you feel like are worth mentioning that weren't there last year that are new vendors this year?
Oh my goodness.
Tokidoki, yeah, they have their own booth this year, which is awesome. Simone signed at Twitter last year, but Tokidoki were not there, so we're excited to have them this year. Unbox Industries are going to have their own booth this year, which is also exciting.
When was the last time Unbox was in New York with a booth?
Never. So that's great.
Welcome to New York. I'm joking. Dan's always in town, but they've just never had a booth in New York. So that's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And also,
Black Book.
I have to pull it up.
Yeah, Black Book.
I don't think Black Book has ever had a booth in New York before.
No, Planet X too.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Hakaba Gallery is in from Japan. It's the first time they've ever had a booth outside of the country of Japan.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's their first time in the U.S., so that one's really huge.
They're going to be in with Skull Toys and Punk Drunkers and all
Milk
those
Boy
guys.
Toys.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun and definitely a VIP booth because you will not get anything if you're not in there that first hour.
No. It'll be like last year where they sold all their exclusives and just slept for the rest of the day.
And then they nap.
In their booth.
So if you want to take pictures of Japanese men napping, that's the booth. It's booth number 327. You can go check them out.
Yeah.
I know last year there was no food and drink allowed in the actual, the booth area. Is that the same case with this year? So if you go outside and you get alcohol or food from the food trucks, can you bring that inside?
To be honest, we haven't decided the answer to this question yet, and it's because of if we let people wander around with food and beer and they spill beer, then we have to do cleanup. So it's probably just easier to keep all the beer outside.
We have a VIP bar in the panel room.
Yeah, but that's in
You're only drinking in that little room. Yeah.
Okay, that all makes sense because I know last year as a vendor, there's a few times when I go out to the food trucks and a guard was preventing me from coming back in with my food and taking it back to my booth. So as a vendor, it would be nice to have that exception as vendors only maybe could take the food back to their booth.
Yeah, vendors will absolutely be allowed to eat at their booths.
Yes.
We're not going to have that issue again.
Okay.
No one is going to get stopped by security and yelled at because that was mean and stressful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then speaking of food too, we also have Cafe Grumpy this year.
You have coffee.
Yes.
Last year we had no coffee.
So we have a coffee vendor.
Oh, I know you were asking you. So there's going to be
Endless coffee. Because last year people were coming to the RV and I was making them coffee.
Yeah.
So this year people can buy coffee. I'll still make you coffee. If you come to the RV, I will make you coffee.
Yeah. So what we do is
But please buy it.
we provide coffee for the vendors first thing in the morning, just so that they can all get their hit first thing on us. And then this year we're excited to have Cafe Grumpy be there the whole time. So
Now, Cafe Grumpy, that's Andrew Bell's sister's company, right?
yes, it is.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Very cool.
So we're talking about food. I know last year one of the big hits with food was all the food trucks. I know you're doing food trucks again this year, right?
We are. There's going to be 3 to 4 trucks a day. We have all over the place. So there's Asian fusion, there's Mexican, there's really fancy grilled cheeses. There's an Ethiopian truck coming, which I think is going to be really cool.
I've never had Ethiopian. Have you, Theresa?
Nope.
Ethiopian food is really good.
Interesting.
There's going to be little made-to-order donuts.
Oh, sign me up.
Yeah, so there's gonna be lots of awesome things, lots of awesome food, and out there is also where our beer garden's gonna be, and we've got a bunch of exclusive beer stuff. I know you guys aren't super into beer, but a lot of people are.
We are.
Obviously.
We're very excited about the beer.
So we're super excited about the beer. Can we talk about the beer now?
Yes, let's talk about the beer.
Yeah. Talk about the beer.
Starting with beer, Lagunitas is the most amazing sponsor in the universe.
True.
It's true.
And they're taking care of us as an organization, which is wonderful. They're sponsoring the Designer Toy Awards, and they're also sponsoring our live painting events, which will be going on all weekend long in the courtyard outside. and Lagunitas will be on tap all weekend. So thank you, Lagunitas. We have basically anointed CZ our beer master artist for the year.
Yeah, that's CZ13 Art on Instagram.
CZ has worked with us to design an original beer with 6 Points Brewery. We're making so much news tonight. It's crazy. It's called, the beer that is being made with 6 Points is called Equal Measures, and it was designed by CZ with the brewmaster at 6 Points.
With the head brewer Marcus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is super exciting.
Cool.
It's a hazy New England style IPA with notes of candied orange, grapefruit, and mango.
And it's unbelievably limited. For the beer fans who came last year, there was a lot of complaint that our 6 Point beer, which was a sour last year, sold out immediately.
Yeah.
So this year we're scheduling the tappings, and we'll be posting it on social media, both us and 6 Point. So you'll know when the beer is being tapped, so no one shows up and is like, "Can I try that beer?" And it's gone.
Yeah.
We're making sure that doesn't happen this year.
It will run out. It will run out.
But
it's going to run out periodically.
yes. So you'll have a better chance of trying it this year than you did last year.
That's
And
right.
on top of that, to help keep everything flowing smoothly, 6 Point has also provided us with a backup beer that's going to be limited edition, but it's not exclusive, but also very small batch. So for anyone who's super into beer, they can come out and try that as well, which is going to be awesome.
That's right.
So all the beer is on tap, or?
Well, we've also got a special can.
Yes, which is an exclusive limited edition can made specifically for 5 Points, with featuring artwork by CZ, and it's called Smoked Guru. And it features CZ's guru character that he is part of his street art, and it's a smoked pilsner.
Huh. If I wanted to, Josh, I could just buy that can and take it with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's brewed by Kings County Brewing Co-op, or
Collective.
KCBC Collective, and they're the most awesome guys, and they worked really closely with us to help us create this can specifically for 5 Points.
And it's beautiful. And, like, the can looks super badass. All of KCBC's cans are really, really cool, but this one is particularly badass. We're really excited about it.
Cool. So I noticed there's one other company, Threes Brewing, on the vendor map. So what's their role?
Threes is managing our entire bar setup for the event.
Both the outdoor bar, the VIP,
and the after party.
and the after.
So,
okay.
So they're a really high-end, amazing brewery in Brooklyn, and they have a bar just down the block from
The venue.
from the Brooklyn Expo Center. So we're doing our after party at the Threes Bar, which is 2 blocks from the venue. And they're just being the most amazing people. They're helping us run everything and make sure that the beer side of this event lives up to the toy side of the event.
Yeah.
There's going to be some serious hangovers on Sunday.
Well, on Monday, people are going to drink
We're
through
going to
the
drink
weekend.
all the way, all the way through.
So you'll also be able to, get some of the Threes Brewing beer there too.
That's right.
They're gonna
Yeah, they're going to have a
bring
couple of lines as well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of really delicious and limited edition beer, which is going to be really awesome.
And we're
cool.
going to have cocktails for those that don't drink beer.
Uh,
And we're going to have coffee for those that drink alcohol.
Right, and non-alcoholic drinks available at the outdoor bar as well. And then for VIPs, there'll be hard alcohol, and we'll probably have some sort of wine punch, like a sangria, available for non-beer drinkers.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
And if you ask for water, you know what happens to you.
I will be
Yeah.
in line at the Make Your Own Donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun. So you mentioned the after party as at a bar. So you can talk a little bit more about that and that venue and what else going on there?
Yeah, it's a super beautiful space. It's super close to the event. There'll be food available. It's not going to be like last year. Everything was very spread out. There was bowling, and that was awesome. But no one could really talk to each other because you couldn't find anyone else. So this is very intimate. We have total takeover of the space. And so it's just going to be people who love toys, people who we love hanging out and having an awesome time. We're going to have curated music, and there's
That's
food
right.
and yeah.
The music will be curated by Lord Kimchi, Cliff Cho, for those who know, the owner of Fat Buddha Bar in East Village. And the food's going to be amazing. So it's just going to be a great party.
It's a really pretty space. We're really, really excited about it. And again, the walking distance is huge because traveling to Times Square last year was exhausting.
What's the entry fee for the VIP party? I know it's included with the VIP pass, but let's say some people can't get the VIP pass. Are vendors allowed to get in, or what's the entrance fee?
Why are you asking us that question?
Because I know how last year went down. I know a lot of vendors were like thought they could get in for free. And
have I told you that at the after party, Hug G and I will be doing a strip tease.
And I got money in my pocket for that, but I still want to know before how much it's going to cost me to get into the after party.
It's priceless, Gary. It's priceless.
I'm covered, but someone who
getting
didn't.
free.
Okay.
VIP's getting free. Public is $20, and then vendors is a question mark.
Is a nod and a wink.
Gotcha.
I know last year vendors got in by saying they were on Josh Kimberg's list, and that worked.
If you're paying attention to this podcast right now and you're a vendor and you say you're on Josh Kimberg's list,
you're fine.
You're fine.
It seems silly to not why. Not to knock on decom, but the after party got really weird last year. Like we thought we could get in, but it was very weird and like no one was allowed unless you were very specifically allowed to. And I'm like, why'd you do that? So
yeah, we couldn't get in. So we totally understand. We all went up and then tried, and then they were like, no, and it was weird.
Right. It was just weird. So I think letting it be open to anyone and everyone is great. If you have to pay to get in because you didn't get VIP, no problem, fine. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of the whole point of these kind of events is not just to meet collectors, but to meet the artists and vendors and everyone that you're into. So.
Yeah, no, and just, I mean, for us, you know, Decon and 5 Points it's like little reunions. Like, it's fun to see everyone.
It's like Thanksgiving.
It's like Thanksgiving.
It's like Friendsgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So you mentioned there'll be food there. Is it provided or do you have to pay for it?
You have to pay for it.
It's a la carte thing. The kitchen will be open and you can order whatever you like off the menu.
Okay.
It's
New York.
Kyle is sitting here just quietly saying things behind the computer that we're all looking at.
Yeah,
like it's New York.
Like that's the kind of the problem. Like what you're saying about having like just a big open space for vendors and fans and things to mingle. Like that's what we would love in a dream world too. But you know, we're in Brooklyn on a Saturday night in June. There's not really that many spaces that are just like, yeah, you can take over this party for less than $20,000.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, you have to balance that because New York's expensive.
But honestly, our feeling is like for an after party, we wanted it to be intimate. We thought that people hanging out and having a good time together was more important than bells and whistles.
So we think the after party will be definitely more intimate, but still fun. Yeah. And there's an area where dancing might happen.
Yeah,
I'm trying to convince everyone to do karaoke, but I keep getting shot down.
Maybe I'll make it to the after party this year. Last year I had a complete meltdown.
You were texting me.
I had a really big meltdown. I didn't make it to the after party on Saturday night, so I had no idea whether the after party was good or not good last year. Yeah, I had a baby. Like,
you're like postpartum crazy.
I was postpartum. I just spent like all the time I had playing the festival and then lost my mind.
Yeah. But then you got Thai food.
But
you went back to the hotel and you texted me.
You know who is going to break dance at the after party?
Is it Rebel?
Kano.
We just mentioned
Hachi.
Where's the woes? Because like that's who you need. You need hoes and woes.
This has gone off the rails. So I'm just gonna go ahead right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the sponsors. So for all your designer toy wants, needs, and desires, we got two great stores for you: 3dretro.com, and 3D Retro also has a beautiful brick and mortar location out there in Southern California. I think it's Burbank adjacent. So if you're out in the area, be sure to check that out. And also there's StrangeCatToys.com. Load up your cart and be sure to use promo code SoTheresa at checkout. That's all one word, no space between So and Theresa. SoTheresa at checkout, and you will receive 10% off your entire order. And also something very cool that Strange Cat Toys is doing that I don't think any other toy retailer is doing right now is they're offering like payment plans. So if you're looking for that big ticket item or something comes out, but you're also waiting for your paycheck. But so all you have to do is pay half up front, and then you can set up a payment plan to pay the remaining amount over the next few weeks or months. So that's something unique that they're doing over at strangeCatToys.com. So that's really cool. So be sure to check that out. Also, for all your designer toy news, be sure to follow and like SpankyStokes.com and TheToyChronicle.com. And the Toy Chronicle also has a great app that you can use. Be sure to download that at any one of your favorite app stores. All right, so are you guys ready? So let's get back and talking some more 5 Points Fest.
Yes.
What can you tell us about the Outer Spacemen 50th anniversary?
Oh yeah, they have a lot going on. A lot of stuff. They're going to have the premiere of their new 12-inch figure. They're going to have an 8-foot Rex on display.
Wow.
It's super cool.
It's super cool. So that'll be a good photo op.
8-foot Rex was made by Clutter Studios.
It was made.
So if you need your 8-foot tall toy made,
Hit us up.
You want an 8-foot tall Whooper Looper?
We got
You know
you
who to
back.
call.
Okay. Put it in my Rolodex.
Which is really cool because even though it's 8 feet tall, it still articulates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's awesome.
great.
It's crazy.
Did you guys paint it as well?
Not yet, but
Full-
it's being painted right
it's
now.
being painted.
It
right
will
now.
be painted.
Okay.
It's being painted as we speak.
But Clutter,
And
the Clutter provides like a full fabrication service, the 3D printing, the molding, the painting, the full works. Awesome.
Yes.
Impressive.
That the two-handed battle mace for the Colossus Rex.
It's a lethal
could
weapon.
fucking kill you.
Yeah. It's a lethal
It's
weapon.
really, really dangerous. I fell on it twice and bled.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know why I kept falling on it, but I did.
We're really tired.
What else? There's so much going on that it's really hard for us to list it all, to be
Right.
honest.
Right. Panel-wise, you mentioned that Huck and Paul Budness will be doing a panel. Are there any other panels lined up for the weekend?
There are more panels coming. They will be announced shortly. We're just finalizing the scheduling.
And our guests.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, what about? I know some booths will do lotteries versus just selling straight to the booth. Like, do you have a list, or do we just need to go to the individual vendors?
It's going to be on a vendor-by-vendor basis.
We have no control over it.
We don't. I know that Instinct Toy did some announcements about their lotteries, but I expect more to be forthcoming soon.
Okay, so if people are into stuff, they need to go ahead and look at certain vendors ahead of time because it's possible they could be doing lotteries. And so if you don't do it ahead of time, you might not be able to actually get anything.
Again, definitely follow the 5 Points Fest hashtag. A ton of people have been posting stuff under that with information. It's sort of a big, I can't think of the word for a large group of things.
A cacophony?
It's almost 12 o'clock.
A repository?
Yes.
Sure, yeah, that's a good word.
A conglomeration.
A conglomeration of information.
A congregation.
But I mean, the bigger people that usually bring exclusives, you just need to keep a track on their Instagrams, really. My Plastic Heart, they're going to bound to be having some awesome drops. Tokidoki, Unbox, Mighty Jacks, all of those guys, Propaganda, see what they're bringing. To just track them on their own feeds.
Cool. I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared that my list of wants is going to be too big. Gary, I need your help.
You can enlist me for help. I will line up wherever you need me.
Take away her wallet and give her a budget.
Yeah, you have to be a little better than you were at Decon, where you did not help at all.
I helped at Designer Con.
You helped me spend. You didn't help me stop from buying.
Well, that's not, no, but I'm there to help you spend. I'm there to help you acquire.
Yeah,
I know. You're like my on-site mule.
That's right. I'm here for you.
Teresa, if you want to come by the RV and just leave your wallet there for a couple of hours, you're allowed to.
And Toy Tokyo bound to bring some cool stuff too.
Yeah.
They've just been spending a lot of time in China at MD's new spot, so I'm sure they're going to come back with some great things. 1,000 Toys are going to bring one of their great custom shows with them, so we're excited to see what they have on display. So there's going to be quite a few great custom shows going on at the same time. There's going to be plenty of things to keep an eye out. I know 13 Carat's going to have a great bootleg show.
He's featuring 20-something artists.
Yeah.
It's a big show.
So
who's the one that does the mapping? Decides who gets placed where?
Well, we kind of do it communally.
It's like a wedding.
Yeah, it is like a wedding.
Do you try to keep it varied?
No. It's exactly what we don't try to do.
What are you talking about? We do. We try and group some people together, and we vary some others. It's a mixture.
Okay.
We try and make it make sense. and not to have like the weird uncle sitting next to like
that cousin that smells
cousin.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They should be
try and
separated.
spread them out.
The floor plan is typical, like a wedding, but it comes together, and then it makes sense once it makes sense.
Right. Man, you guys are dropping lots of info. Anything else that we haven't covered?
Nobody talks to us. That's why.
You guys are working too hard. No one wants to bother you.
The other thing that's really great is that we partnered with Brotherford Industries and Keene University to bring together, the next generation of toy designers, which is really cool. They've been working on a project which, you're familiar with, Gary, because you did it last year with Brian, that he's going to bring his roller casting machines, and they've been designing a project all year as part of their degree that they're going to bring to the floor of 5 Points and roller cast on site for people. That's cool. We're excited to provide, we're providing them with the space so the students get that on-hand experience of dealing directly with collectors and talking to them about their designs. So we're excited for that too. That's going to be a really cool spot to hang out.
And it's also the final stop on Kyle Kerwin's RV tour. This is the last place you will ever see it because it's being sold after 5 Points.
Oh, retiring the RV, huh?
Retiring the RV. So if anyone wants to see Kyle Kerwin's mobile studio or hang out in the little area we'll be setting up out front, this is the last time you can do it.
So you're going to be out front, not in the courtyard area?
No, we'll be in the courtyard. We'll be in the beer garden.
Okay.
Where are you going to be?
Oh, we should put it on the floor. Yeah. It'll be added to the floor plan.
Yeah.
Kyle Kerwin's RV.
Now that's going to be your actual booth setup, right? Like last year, you're going to be set up outside the RV?
Yeah, that's going to be our booth, or Kyle's booth. I'm just the helper monkey.
Okay.
Just going to be wearing like 2 hats.
I'll be wearing 2 hats. I'll have a 5 Point staff shirt on and also be like selling Kyle's toys and just running around.
We also have a really great artist alley this year again. So
artist alley's killer.
It's really great.
And definitely like designer toy people are in there, like Jellicoe's in there.
Yeah. Pigeon's in there.
Pigeon Doll, who when we were talking about the Ladonna doll, that ball jointed doll artist we pointed you towards.
He's amazing. Yes.
He's amazing. He's going to be there. He's under the name Pigeon Doll.
Okay.
His work's beautiful.
Exactly. We have some great comic artists in there too, so it's going to be the artist alley is a good place to hang out. Don't miss out on that.
Yeah. If anyone's bringing kids, we've got an artist who worked on My Little Pony and a couple of other things who is really excited to see small fans. So feel free to bring your children to 5 Points Fest.
Yeah.
Nice.
They are more than welcome.
Children and dogs.
Children and dogs. Yes.
We are dog friendly.
We are dog friendly. We just got word that a really cute corgi is going to be at one of the booths.
Oh, Theresa, you're done.
I am so sad. Although I know Bailey would have probably hated it. She's staying home. That's the one con of cons. Is I can't bring my little fur child along, and I hate leaving her. But I don't think she'd probably like that much anyway. It's too much crowd and noise. She'd probably hate it. But I'm super excited about the fact that I might see dogs while walking around.
You will. We know we got a specific request. Someone asked if they could bring a purse dog, and we told them yes. And then a vendor just messaged me today and said, I have a corgi who weighs 20 pounds. He has 10,000 Instagram followers, and he's going to be at my booth. So.
Wow. Well, you guys have disclosed a lot of information tonight. I'm looking forward to the event and the dog show and the toy show and all that stuff. And you guys mentioned there's a lot of information that has not come in yet or you're not able to disclose. So for our listeners, where's the best place for them to follow you to stay on top of the latest and greatest 5 Point news?
5 Points Fest on Twitter.
5pointsfest.com, where you can get your tickets too.
You want to explain the tickets? So you got the VIP pass. You guys said there's only a handful left of that.
Yeah, those are $125 for the whole weekend, and that gives you the DTA entry, early entry, goodie bag, all that stuff. And then there is a
weekend ticket,
full weekend ticket, which costs $45. I can't read your screen from here. I'm sorry.
It's $45 in advance. I think it's $50 on the door.
Okay.
Yes.
And then Saturday ticket is $35 in advance. Sunday's $30 in advance. They're all more expensive if you pay at the venue. So we recommend you buying your tickets beforehand.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Yeah. It's only a couple of weeks away. Let's do this thing already. Yeah, let's do this, Miranda.
We're not ready for that yet.
I'm sure it'll all come together.
Yeah, it'll all come together. It'll be seamless. We'll never know. But we totally appreciate you and everyone else who's behind the scenes, putting together the awards, 5 Points Fest. I know it's not just you three. There's a bunch of other people involved. So we appreciate all of you, and thank you very much for doing it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us on, and Excuse our bad behavior.
You guys were a little naughty. I blame your sponsor for that one. But why don't you guys take a brief moment and let our listeners know where they can find you?
5pointsfest.com and Instagram 5pointsfest.
Twitter 5pointsfest.
Facebook 5pointsfest. All the social media. Social is kind of where the best place to get the news from us is, but the website also has as much information as we can get up there.
Okay. Theresa, where can people find you?
If people want to find me, they can check me out on Instagram. My username is tmhawk24.
And I'm Gary Ham. You can find me at Gary Ham on Instagram or superham.com. Thanks again for joining, everyone. We'll see you in a couple weeks. This has been the Marsham Toy Hour. We do this every week, not because we have to,
but because we want to.
Next week, we have Horrible Adorables joining for another fun game night edition of the Marsham Toy Hour. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
They're going to be a 5 Points Festival. We can't wait to see them.
They will.
We're excited.
Yeah.
Traveling all the way from Cleveland.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's a wrap.
Woo, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.